2, 1. Hello and welcome to this week's Patriots Mailbag. I'm Doug Kyde. If you have a question for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug. Let's get right into your questions. Michael O'Donnell asks, we need wide receiver / tight end help. With Edelman out and Harry extremely questionable, we're essentially down to Bird and Myers. When Zuber is promoted, how much of an impact do you see, if any? And Michael is correct. Julian Edelman out for Sunday against the Buffalo Bills after having a procedure on his knee on Thursday. N'Keal Harry doubtful to play against the Bills as he's still dealing with a concussion. So that does leave the Patriots with Damiere Byrd, Jakobi Meyers, and Gunnar Olszewski at the wide receiver position. Patriots definitely will need to fill out that depth at wide receiver from their practice squad, where they've got Zay Zuber, they've got Christian Wilkerson, and they've got Mason Kinsey. Zuber is definitely the top candidate to come off of the practice squad since he's played 3 games with the Patriots already. Usually he's used a little bit more as a gimmick player on jet sweeps, end arounds, but he does have a 16-yard catch on the season. But I actually really like Wilkerson. He was extremely productive at Southeast Missouri State. I believe the locals call it SEMO over there in Missouri. But he also has an intriguing skill set, 6'1", 215 pounds, really great quickness and agility, and that shows up in his route running ability, good leaping ability as well, decent speed. I know what you're saying. He's coming from Southeast Missouri State. How much does that production and everything really count? But week 1 last season, he played against Southern Illinois, caught 6 passes, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, and that was coming against 2 NFL defensive backs, Jeremy Chinn at safety and Madre Harper at cornerback. So it's not like all of the competition that he was facing was really lower tier, and he actually had one of his best games of the season last year against Harper and Chinn. So I want to see what he can do in the Patriots offense, and this might actually be his opportunity. Second question here comes from Maliam, who asks, what's a realistic haul for Gilmore? Also, which teams do you think would be willing to trade for him? Probably going to have to be a team with at least a first this year and a team that's in contention for the playoffs. So that's a really good question on Gilmore. It would either be a first or second round pick. And if I'm the Patriots, I would really press for a first round pick, whether that is 2021 or 2022. It's probably a little bit more realistic that the Patriots would only get a second round pick. And the optics on that really would not be great after the Patriots traded a second round pick for Mohamed Sanu last season, and they only wound up getting half a season out of him. They've got a season and a half left of Stephon Gilmore, so you don't really want to trade him for what you just gave up for Mohamed Sanu. But if that's the only deal on the table, then it might be worth taking for the Patriots. Some teams who could be interested, maybe the Green Bay Packers, maybe the Seattle Seahawks, maybe the New Orleans Saints. There are some teams who are cornerback needy, who are still in playoff contention. Last question here. Let's end on a fun one with Oliver Reynolds. He asks, what is your top 5 Halloween candy? And this is apropos since Halloween is just around the corner here. And I'm going to go number 1, the Reese's Pumpkin. I'm talking about the big ones, not the little mini ones. I think that's the best Halloween candy. Number 2, a Crunch Bar. I just think that there's something about a fun-size Crunch Bar that's actually even better than a full-size Crunch Bar. Maybe it's like the ratio of Crispies to chocolate. Not sure what it is. Number 3, Sour Patch Kids. Number 4, an Almond Hershey's. And number 5, this one's going off the board a little bit, Lifesaver Gummies. You have to have some fruit mixed in with the chocolate on Halloween.
PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.